Bengal escaped. Bengal escaped. Okay, what would a live stream be without having to adjust the tripod right away? Hey, you're not supposed to be chewing on those. Come here. Come here. No. Oh, there he goes. Hey, everybody. You don't have to, but if you want, you can say where you're watching from. I am in California. I'm in Joshua Tree, 29 Palms, California. And it's 3 o'clock Pacific time. Bengal. And I thought, Bengal. My ears lowered. I got my ears lowered. I've not heard that expression before. Buddy, where is he? Bengal. Yeah, I got a haircut on Wednesday, and I got no styling wax or anything in it right now. I like to put a little something in it to keep it from flapping around. Oh, how's everybody doing? BB's being like a wild man. Okay. Helen's in the UK. All right. Oh, feels good to sit. But where's Bengal? Here he is. Here's Bengal. Let's raise this a little bit more. Let's tilt it down a little bit. How's that? Is that any better? Bird, what's the matter? What's wrong? Let's scoot up a little. Bengal. So a little bit to talk about with Bengal. He probably doesn't want to eat a cookie right now, even if he can. I soaked this one so that it's soft and chewy. You want to have a bite? But he just sat. Hello, Anne. Bengal just sat with me, and he had a whole bunch of critical care. What's going on back here? Do you have a little impaction happening back here? No? He's pretty annoyed with me in general, right? We had to do the tooth trim on Tuesday. He's just gotten a little bit too much of me this past week. But he did gladly take tooth issues are never fun. He took probably 10 syringefuls of critical care, the fine grind papaya. I put a little orange vitamin C in it for this batch, and he liked it. So reminder, if you've got any questions, the easiest way for me to get attention is if you put like a question mark before the question or any comment that you want to stand out. And of course, as always, this live stream is sponsored by the patrons and the channel members. We had a bunch of new channel members last week, so that was really awesome. His poops are starting to get back to normal. They were a little dry this morning. We're talking about Bengal here, but he seems to be in pretty good spirits right now. You know, we can actually, if you want to switch to this view, you can Let's switch to this view. How about that? Focus on the real star. Oh, there's Toby in the background. Whoop, what happened? He's like, I'm out. You camera shy? Maybe he will sit here and eat some hay for us. Maybe. Anybody have any fun plans this weekend? I want to tell you about what I did last weekend. So last Saturday night, I went scuba diving with my dive buddies, and we went to Redondo Beach. It's a pretty popular diving spot, especially at night. There is a canyon that basically goes right from the beach right down, and it goes hundreds of feet deep. And so you have different stratospheres of life. Here's a question about Bengal. Do you syringe water as well as critical care? I'm doing that, and I haven't seen him drinking yet. Helen, I'm glad that that you're here so that we can talk about your situation. Um, you can syringe feed water. It really just depends on activity. Bengal has been drinking plenty of water on his own, so that is not something that I'm worried about. Plus, critical care obviously has a lot of water, so in general, it's not something that I think you'd really need to worry about specifically. Um, so he may not want to eat anything right now because he has, even after the critical care, I saw him. I took some science selective pellets and I soaked them in water, filtered water, and he was chewing on some of those and some shredded carrot. So I'm hoping that he's back on the mend. I didn't get any fennel yet. I haven't been to the store, but I will put that on my list. I'll see if I can find some fennel. You know, fennel grows wild here in Los Angeles. There was a path that I used to walk right on the edge of Santa Monica. Sadly, I think it was actually the Palisades, and I wonder if that neighborhood is even still standing. But there was fennel. There's fennel growing everywhere. Collect. You can collect fennel seeds, and fennel seeds are very great for cooking. So I did video the dive, but I had an encounter that was really amazing and didn't quite really come out on video because it was so dark. Justine's here, my neighbor Justine from down the hill in Desert Hot Springs. So I won't bury the lead. I saw a cormorant at 25 feet deep at about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. Cormorants are those black seabirds, and they dive and they catch fish. So I've seen a cormorant before in San Diego at La Jolla Shores Beach at about 60 feet deep in the daytime. And I do have a video of that. If you went to my California Shore Divers video, it's the channel video, the main like trailer video. You can see a cormorant diving at 60 feet deep. You know, when people talk about the things that they're afraid of in the ocean, like an eelfish, first of all, if you ever get to see any of these things that you're afraid of, then you're extremely lucky because they're most likely very, very rare. Yes, Suzanne. Actually, this question did come up a few weeks ago. Can you feed piggies dandelion flowers fresh from your yard? As long as nothing has been sprayed with any chemicals, it's my understanding that all parts of the dandelion are edible. Um, Mino says your mic is pending. I'm not sure what that means. Can you guys hear me okay? We've been having a lot of wind, and I've been having still ongoing internet issues. They seem to be improving. Sound goes up and down. I do apologize if I have to try to switch it to the Wi-Fi, but I'm not sure that that's going to be any better. So just so everybody knows, anyone whose name is in green with a little emoji next to it, those are channel members. Blue Sky is asking, not, I don't know if they're asking me. I don't know who had chickens. Who had chickens? Said, do you eat your chickens? I don't have any chickens. I don't eat chickens. I don't eat any animals. We don't need to get into that. But if you've ever met and known a chicken personally, what you would soon realize is they are far more entertaining and enjoyable as a pet than a fleeting meal. And I would really think that that's all animals. All animals are much more enjoyable as friends when there's such a delicious bounty of non-friends that you can eat. You know, if you eat what guinea pigs eat, you'll be nice and healthy. Of course, not hay, of course. But if you ate a lot of hay, you'd probably have some really good bowel movements. Very firm. Right, Bird? BB had a breakfast today of, and round. BB had a breakfast today of broccoli, carrots, lentils, quinoa, a very small amount of seeds, and his fruit flavored pellet mix. There is a fly flying around in here. So yeah, again, if you have a question or something that you want me to talk about, you can put a question there. A little wolf was given a chicken by a friend, and it was in their house. Then they had to move, so they ended their flock and wound up eating them. Oh, that's psychopathic, honestly. If you had a flock of chickens that were like your family pets, and then you just ended up eating them, but the message, in all fairness, doesn't say that they're the pets. Maybe they were, people do what they want to do. But is the Child Life Vitamin C still a brand you like and recommend? Kathy, absolutely. And if you ever want to know what I'm currently recommending, check out scottiesanimals.com, my website, because I do update it regularly. And if there was, something, I have received a few emails, messages about some vets to add, and I have yet to do that. But I'm working on my taxes, and so I'll be sitting at the computer. Hopefully, I can update those as soon as possible. But generally speaking, what's on my website, I recommend, whether it's all those products that we share and recommend at the LA Guinea Pig Rescue, or some things that I've found helpful over the years. If it's up on the website, and I have lots of information about Child Life Vitamin C. You sick of me already, Bengal? Bengal, can you turn this way so that your lighter side? There we go. No. Camera shy. He's ready for a nap. He really is. So let me put him back. He is having trouble closing his mouth completely. His molars were very much overgrown. So I want to address that. Pippi. Pippi's right over there. Pippi, Anne thinks you're very handsome. I'm going to, every 2 months now, get him a tooth checkup. Little Wolf is asking, would I ever do a 2-person stream with Austin at the Pig Room? I don't have any reason why I wouldn't. I don't know what his schedule is like, or if that's something that he would be interested in. But that might be something that we could do. um, Austin was very nice and sent the pig beds and some other things for the piggies here. And I know that I have recommended a number of his shop items. He's killing it over there at his channel. Joy from Indiana. Okay. So Kathy, your vet recommends that you get a vitamin C supplement for your piggies. So let's talk about vitamin C supplementation. Um, Guinea pigs need vitamin C, just like people. Without vitamin C, will get scurvy. Here, let me put him back. Carefully. Look, I've got the Southern California Guinea Pig Rescue Volkswagen bus shirt. Okay, let's talk about vitamin C real quick before I grab another piggy. Hugh, are you okay? You just sleepy? Let me look at Hugh real quick. He looks like he's a little spaced out, and you can see him right there. Hugh, you okay? Baby? You okay? Okay. Oh, you got it, baby? Okay. You know what? Let's grab, while we're here, if we can. Come on, Bubba. Come on. Oh, too fast. Come on. Oh, buddy. I got a treat for you. There's 2 piggies in here. Oh, I know. Oh, my goodness gracious. But guess what? There's a cookie at the end of this. Okay. I do want to talk about vitamin C. Always an interesting and important topic. Look, it is the magnificent. You want a healthy snacker? No? Okay. Before we get too far away, 60 feet. What was 60 feet? And Justine is talking about the cormorant, maybe? Okay, let's talk about vitamin C. Guinea pigs, just like people, we need vitamin C. And we need to get it from our diet. You okay? The Exotic Animal Vet Center in Pasadena recommend that. Let's take a look at this guy's teeth while we're looking. He's missing his one bottom teeth. He's got like the same tooth profile as Bengal, so maybe he's going to need a tooth checkup. Exotic Animal Vet Center, focus. Exotic Animal Vet Center in Pasadena recommends between 25 and 50 milligrams of vitamin C per pig per day. Guinea pig pellets are usually fortified with vitamin C, but you never know exactly how much pellets, how much vitamin C they're actually eating in a day. You could probably try to figure that out if you had one piggy and you gave them very small amounts and just saw how much they were able to eat in a day, you could probably figure out how much vitamin C they were getting from their pellets, assuming that all that vitamin C that they say is in there is actually in there. A really great source of vitamin C is green peppers. A small or medium-sized green pepper, a quarter of it has about 25 milligrams of vitamin C. A half of a regular green pepper has up to, and even maybe more than 50 milligrams of vitamin C. Red peppers, yellow peppers, orange peppers, bell peppers are even higher in vitamin C. So that's something to keep in mind. Vitamin C is a water soluble vitamin, which means generally speaking, we pee out what's extra. I am feeling a little cyst right here on grape. And he has had cysts in this general area before, and this is not something that I would worry about, but I would want to be aware of, keep checking on it. That's why it's very important to pick up your piggies all the time. Okay, so is grape what? Grape is fine. He was napping. You know, a lot of these piggies, they are not expecting me to be picking them up. He's a good boy. You know, we have all had hay and pellets and veggies this morning already. So when I give these guys cookies, they don't always want them because they've already been eating all day. How are you feeling? So what's going on here? Let me feel. Let me see. Also feels like he has a little bit of a cyst right on his cheek, right there. He's always had lots of little cysts. And I think it's because he has just this very thick kind of fur and he's always been kind of greasy. My pigs really do love, generally speaking, these healthy snackers. I can't keep them. I'm always going through them. But at different times, they are more or less interested in them. So back to vitamin C. Should you give your piggies Child Life liquid vitamin C every day? Phoebe, did you poop on me? Yeah, you did. I would say you don't need to give Child Life liquid vitamin C every day if you're giving them, like on a day that you're going to give a green pepper, you probably don't need to do vitamin C. In general, it's harmless. In moderation, like I said, it's a water soluble vitamin. Your piggies are going to pee out what they don't need. The only thing to consider is that, again, we're all sleepy today. According to the Exotic Animal Vet Center in Pasadena, more than 100 milligrams can potentially exacerbate arthritis in older piggies. So as long as you're not doing twice what they, really twice to up to 4 times, they're saying between 25 and 50 milligrams is what piggies need. You feeling okay, buddy? I'm squeezing him to make sure that there's nothing weird going on. I think he's fine. You want to go back? So when the Exotic Animal Vet Center in Pasadena says 50 milligrams of vitamin C per day, they're talking from all sources. So, yeah, we're checking the lymph nodes here. We're just checking for any like tumor, thick masses. Like I did just discover a cyst here and a little cyst down here. Be far more uncomfortable to try to pop it than just to let it resolve and watch it. You ready to go? You want to go home? Let me get a quick look at your teeth while we're here. Let me get a quick look. Let me see. Let me see. The top one is a teeny bit long. Let me look at the bottom one. Bottom one looks okay. The clearance is very good. Okay. Yes, this is the shirt that I helped design for the Southern California Guinea Pig Rescue. Okay. So why would you need vitamin C? Why would you maybe want to give extra vitamin C? And then let's think about vitamin C in our own lives. Okay, there you go. Great, you got a feather on you. Oh, there it goes. Toby, I'm going to get you. I'm going to get you, Toby. I got cookies, though. If I get you, you can have a cookie. Little Toby. Little Toby, the biggest troublemaker in the whole piggy room. I have to say piggy room because pig room is trademarked. Okay. Toby, Toblerone. Yeah. You dork. You smell grapes butt? Is that what you smell? Ron's in the house. Okay. Guinea pig can't save up vitamin C, and we're all getting less with food. Well, like I said, vitamin C, green peppers is a great source of vitamin C. Also, sprouts. Take a little quick Google search for guinea pig garden, Scotty's Animals guinea pig garden, or Scotty's Animals sprouts. I've got a few years back, I did some pretty extensive videos on sprouts. Sprouts could be probably the healthiest food that you can consume. You can eat numerous types of sprouts. So, okay, why would you want to add extra vitamin C? In what situation? Now, generally, your pigs should be getting their minimum or the daily recommended amount of vitamin C of 25 to 50 milligrams of vitamin C. That's going to ensure that they have a strong immune system, just like us. Okay, but there are other reasons. Yeah, if your piggies are ill, if they have a respiratory infection or some kind of cold, if they have tooth issues, if your piggies are stressed, it is for sure physical and mental stress. Vitamin C can help, but as people, we have certain stresses in our lives that can't be removed, at least not not until the next election. But you know, the world is crazy. We have obligations, we have commitments, and that's true. But when it comes to your piggies, we need to eliminate all forms of stress in their lives that are not necessary. And it's not my fault if these guys are stressing out around 7 or 8 because I haven't given them their veggies yet. They just have to be patient. But your guinea pigs should not be feeling upset all day long. They should not be in a situation where there is high stress. So if your guinea pigs are healing from some physical trauma, like tooth issues or a surgery or a scrape or a cut or something, who only has 3 legs? What happened to him? He's got 4. I have seen pigs with amputated or missing limbs. Here, finish this cookie, dude. Here, you finish this part. So yeah, so anytime your piggy is unwell, healing, or going through something, a little extra vitamin C. Maybe you're about to go on a move, making sure that they get that vitamin C. Thank you, Sir Piggles the First, and thank you for being a channel member, just like you, Ron, and look at all you guys, Helen. So Helen, please feel free if you want to ask any follow-up questions. Helen has a piggy that's also going through tooth issues and simultaneously some kind of an abscess. Oh, after I messaged you, you were going to find out and tell me what antibiotics were being used. Here. Okay. We're going to flip this because he cannot handle, he can't handle the funky smells. Thank you, Mo. Every step you take, every move you make, every vow you break, every smile you fake, I'll be watching you. No, you don't want this. You want another cookie, huh? How about that? Whatever the funk that he smells is on my hand. Man, so like I said before, I wetted this cookie a little bit. You can see it's very flexible. I did that for Bengal, but he's not feeling it right now. But that just makes it next time with a guitar. I'm not familiar with Rhodes hay. Oat hay I would not have as a staple. But I got you, Ray. Here's what you do. Go to my worldwide rescue list. You will see there's a number of guinea pig rescues that I have listed from Australia that are in Australia. Reach out to them and find out what hay they are using. And this is going to be a great resource for plenty of other things too. What pellets do they recommend? Right? Do they offer discounted supplies? Do they maybe have a shop? And this is good advice to anyone, anywhere. If you live in a place where the typical recommended stuff that the guinea pig world recommends isn't available near you, find a rescue or your community of other piggy people and ask what they're using. But I'll say grass hay. You want grass hay. Oat hay is a is it an oat? Is oat a type of I don't know. I'm confusing myself. But I do know that oat hay is great for putting on weight, but it's generally not the staple diet hay that we would want to give to our piggies. My vet said any grass hay is good. So we're talking Timothy, orchard grass, meadow hay, bluegrass. Name some grass hays that you guys like. Generally, here's what I got. You see that? That is orchard grass. This is orchard grass. And that's what my piggies get. They also get Timothy, the stacks. So yes, Kathy, be patient. Can you remind me when the procedure was? Because I would imagine it's going to take a couple days. But like I said, what I'm most concerned about is the antibiotics, because you said he's on 2 different antibiotics. And we need to know what those are. Because if he is on Baytril, that's enrofloxacin, that can oftentimes really disrupt digestion and make piggies feel horrible and shut down. And I understand that the abscess may be pretty aggressive. And in that regard, Baytril and rofloxacin in general would be a pretty reasonable antibiotic to prescribe. But so many guinea pigs don't respond well to it. And if your piggy is in a situation where they're already struggling because of tooth issues, is that your stinky butt? Woo! Woo! Why so stinky? Why so stinky, Toby? Hmm? You have the number 2 stinkiest butt. Thank you for that. The recent losses. You know, that's in the rescue world and in the foster world. You know, I'm very lucky right now, and I have been for a few years, to have a lot of senior piggies, a lot of piggies that have been here for a long time. Okay, Helen, here's what we got. And can you remind me where you're located? Enrofloxacin sounds very similar to enrofloxacin. I don't know if there's a difference, but like I told you, if there was enrofloxacin, yep, there you go. It's anecdotal, and I personally have seen it numerous times. Piggies that they start out with a little breathing issues, and before you know it, they're in full-blown GI stasis. It's actually Baytril. There you go. I don't know where you're at, and I told you this, a few hours ago when the vet was still open. I would stop it right now, and I would talk to the vet and say, is it absolutely necessary? It's been our experience collectively. There are reasons to give it. Yeah. There are reasons to give enrofloxacin, and you can buffer against the negative effects by giving critical care, by giving probiotics. Okay. So piggies on cisapride as well. Man, we're getting deep into the weeds. I really love cisapride. There are other motility drugs, and it's my understanding that cisapride is becoming more and more hard to get. What is cisapride? Cisapride is a motility drug, so piggies that have stopped eating. But here's the deal. If your guinea pig had tooth issues and also had an abscess or some kind of thing, especially on the face, which is really uncomfortable. Imagine having something here and also having tooth issues. Do you know how uncomfortable that will be? What's the matter, bird? So I would say like seriously, imagine having something right here and tooth issues. You're already struggling to eat, and then something that upsets your stomach. That's like a triple whammy. So let's talk about cisapride. Cisapride is a motility drug. It helps the gut start moving. But if cisapride you would give to a pig who's going into GI stasis, but you also need to feed them critical care a lot. And if they're not taking that much, cisapride would. So think about the poop digestive guinea pig food factory as like a conveyor belt that's like moving, right? When they get sick, when they get GI stasis, that's like shutting down the factory. Cisapride helps start the conveyor belt moving. But if you don't have a car or whatever it is that's moving along the conveyor belt in the factory, then nothing's going to happen. And I don't know how good that is. So I'm not a vet. I couldn't say whether or not cisapride would or would not be appropriate. It's not something that you'd want to give your piggies long term, but it's also not something that I think is extremely dangerous. But I would say if they're having trouble eating on their own and are not taking in that volume, then cisapride is going to add. We got a whole lot of variables going on with this piggy right now, right? We've got, where are you going? Where are you going? Who peed over here? No, it's just sitting there. Yuck. We wanted guinea pigs. Okay, so Helen, your piggy has an abscess, which was treated. So the antibiotics are to help heal that infection. And then you have the tooth issues. And there could be a weakened jaw. There could be, like I was explaining, and like I have a video called Tooth Issues Explained, and like I explained, you know, tooth issues are very, very complicated. And even after a procedure, the jaw could be weakened. The teeth could have been cut so short that they're not actually making contact. There's a number of reasons why a tooth trim doesn't just instantly make eating easier. Okay. The procedure itself could have caused pain. Gotcha. So we're dealing with an abscess and the medication from that. We're dealing with tooth issues and the repercussions of that. I'm sure, or I hope, that he's going to be on Medicam or some kind of pain medicine. Toby. Right? So adding the cisapride onto that, I would talk to the vet and ask them, but I would say until he's eating on his own, like a lot, even the critical care, until he's like eating and pooping normally, I would be cautious of the cisapride, but I would at least talk to the vet. Suzanne says, my vet recommended Baytril, then critical care, then wait 2 hours and probiotics. It worked to cure a bad infection in your piggy's cheek. Yeah, I mean, Baytril is a very effective medication, which is why vets prescribe it. But when it comes to guinea pigs, we've also seen a lot of issues with it. So it's, in my experience, in my opinion, there's a very special time and place for Baytril. And if it's the only thing, yeah, there he is. Let's get up here. You are a troublemaker. So, yep. As soon as possible, reach out to the vet and find out if there's something else or if you can discontinue the Baytril. Stop. Toby, what's this? Evie, what's this? Ugh. You are so stinky right now. Why? I hope that helps. We can talk more about it over this next hour. There he goes. Hey, Renee, it's really good to see you here. Where did he go? There's a little pee spot there. There's random poops everywhere. Toby, what are we going to do about these pigs, Bird? That wasn't nice. No, no. This is what's happening here. So, yeah. I'm gonna get you, Toby. I'm gonna get you. So, did that make sense? Do I need to keep explaining it? I think I pretty much got it. For all of you guys listening and watching that have never done a live stream, and I watch a fair amount of other live streams, and live streaming is an art. And to be able to finish a train of thought and to navigate the chat in a way that is engaging with the live audience, it's a very difficult balancing act. Mino found 3 guinea pigs outside today. Tell us more about that. By the way, for anybody who has been watching these, you see these little banner things behind me. These are from Toffee Apple Pets. If you, especially if you're in the UK or in Europe, Toffee Apple Pets makes really awesome fleece stuff. They do ship to the US. I can't imagine it's cheap. And I do know some other really great fleece companies, but Toffee Apple Pets, I cannot recommend them enough. They are run by really nice people, John and company. And Toby, just sit, Toby. Why can't you just sit? Yes, Toffee Apple has donated items to the raffle, and we can thank Alana for that because she coordinates all of that. I've also given discounts to my Etsy shop, and I've given hay racks and copies of my books. Toby, you're ready to go back, huh? Because you're just being trouble. Toby and the other pigs add so much to your, yeah, that's what it's all about. It's not about me. No. If I did a live stream from anywhere but here, it would be super boring. Who would want to watch that? Okay. Here we go. Toby, you're up. Timby, you want to come out? I've got a cookie for you if you do. You're too fast. He's too fast. Let me go get somebody special. Oh, this is a big boy. This is a big boy. And just so that we don't cause trouble, we're going to use a clean fleece. Bird, hang on tight. You good? Okay. Who's this? This is Otter, the earless wonder. Let's slide it down here. There we go. This is Otter. You guys remember Otter? I had paired Otter and Fox together, and they had a falling out. They had a couple days of actually pretty bad fighting. And then I tried to put him with Bison. That didn't work either. But look at Otter. He especially looks like an otter from this side. But Otter has no ears. He had ears, but I'm pretty sure that whatever happened to him, they got chewed up. They are chewed to the nubs. So what Otter's story is, no, it's not normal. It's awful. Someone came to the rescue and they said that they found this piggy in like a crappy little bird cage outside somewhere, if I'm not mistaken. And they wanted to surrender him to the rescue, but the rescue did not have any space. But when I saw him and what he went through, and he was so little, and I thought maybe I could pair him up with one of my boys, that I was just like, I'll just take him. And unfortunately, none of the bonds have stuck. Look here, look at this. Look, the bird has been chewing on my earring for like 14 years. Okay. Bird. Yeah, we'll grab Pippi in a little bit. This is supposed to be a clean fleece. You're not supposed to be smelling anything funky here. The large drop of over 60 pigs in Orlando. Yeah, I heard about that situation. Come here. Otter has never really opened up yet. I'd love to get him in this pig room. He's very shy unless it's dinner time. And then he's actually pretty demanding. It's interesting how some pigs can be like that. How they know when food is coming. Look, there's Pippi. Pippi's out. Pippi's out. Let's get a closer look. What's going on over here? Pippi. Pippi. What a bad kid. We'll grab Pippi in a little bit. What? Pippi, why are you so grumpy right now? Ah, that was so loud. That was Bird. What did I do? What did I do to warrant all of this wrath from all of these animals here? Otter. I love you, though. I love you. Ow. He's still pretty wild. Yep. Grape is up in the corner. Grape is up there. Probably napping again. He was pretty annoyed that I pulled him out of his hidey. Get him, baby. Get him. Bite his ear. No, don't bite his ear because he's already had everybody bite his ear. Bird, ready? Okay, calm down. Here, you want to come up here? Having the bird up there actually makes him calm. He knows where he is. He's lost his vision. Otter is not. We need a running list of all the chill pigs, and I think by far the chillest pig that I have is Hugh, because Hugh likes to just chill and relax. BB, hold on. We're gonna take him back. Hugh, you want to come out? Hugh. Here, BB, you come down here. I gotta stick my head in the. Oh, wow! Look at this. Look at this feather. Look at this feather. There it goes. Where did it go? It's right here. BB can. There it is. Dun dun dun. Look at that. BB, we can auction this feather off. Here, BB. No, don't fly. Oh my goodness. Come here, up. Here, sit there. Put this feather there. Okay, you just chill. Relax. Okay. What are you doing, Hugh? Up. Hugh, I've got cookies. I've got cookies for Hugh. Mo, I said Otter had his ears probably chewed off in some kind of really bad, massive group situation. But it's really impossible to know because he was just dumped somewhere. Here, let's start with this piece. Let's try to find all of the cookies. Mr. Hugh. Okay, let's get close. Hugh, you dropped it. So you can see Hugh's eye. This is the eye that was dull. There was some kind of trauma that happened to the eye. And even eye care for animals, the eye vet specialist was like, here, put these drops in. They thought he had some kind of trauma, but I'm trying to open this. I cut it too short. Here we go. Okay, you got to turn around though. I'll hold it. I'll just hold it and you just take some bites. That's the best way. You talking about Hugh? This is his hair. This is a spot. This is not dirt. This is he is 1/16 Himalayan. So he has this little chocolate s'mores thing, and his ears are slightly darker than normal. So he always has this. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any guinea pig health questions? And Helen, if you're still here, please, let's just, stay in close touch. Kathy says, this is fun. I'll try. I'll have to try for another one, but I'm late to feed my 91-year-old parents and dog, 3 cats, 2 piggies, 2 goats, and 34-year-old horse. Wow. Kathy, I'm jealous. You got all of it going on. This is this is the healthy snacker banana. If you want to try healthy snackers or any small pet select product and you never have, I have a 15% off link. Okay. It should be in the description below here, but if it's not, go to scottysanimals.com right down at the bottom. And in the diet section, there's a link 15% off for new customers. I would recommend stocking up. Yes, it is. Thank you. LMD 8888. What do you smell? My hands. That's Toby's butt and Bengal's butt. And what about this one? Does this one smell funky? Great. Which is the funkiest? Which one smells the funkiest? Here, focus on the cookie. He's like, funk. It's a great treat. Pippi, what are you doing up there? So this is a pad, and that is another pad that I'm gonna change the igloo when it gets dirty. I usually stage the pads there so that they're ready to go when in the morning when I change them out. You can see Toby. Pippi's cleaning. All right. Bye, Kathy. Have a good night. Okay, let's tilt this up a little bit. Here, you want to eat this cookie? Or are you still smelling my funky hands? It's okay. Hey, you know what we can talk about? It's not guinea pig related per se, but have you guys been watching the moon mission, the Artemis 2 mission? I am incredibly excited. Why is there a rice ball on the pillow? Why is there a rice ball on the pillow? You're not a rice ball. You're not a rice ball. What do you say, bird? Come here. So, Hugh has always been a complainer. He complains and then he just kind of resigns and chills. So we're at the complaining phase. Look at this gorgeous face. Hold on. We got to pull back a little bit so that we can get all the glory. Okay, let's see. Luis says Artemis 1 was the craft doing a flyby of the moon. Artemis 2 is the same flyby with people in the craft. Artemis 3 is when the same crew will, this is what's been confusing to me because some people have been saying Artemis 4 is when they will actually land. So I'm not exactly sure if Artemis 3 is going to be an unmanned drop the module down as a test, because that's what they did back in the 60s. They flew around and then they dropped a lander with no one on it, and then they went down. So I guess it was Apollo 9 or Apollo 10 when they did a test drop. So if anybody wants to Google it, what is Apollo 3 and what is Apollo 4? Hey kids, TGIF, how's everyone? Valerie's in the house. Southern California Guinea Pig Rescue. 4 will have people on the moon. So what is 3? Regardless, in a couple days, we're going to start to have some we're getting to the point now where they're pretty close to halfway. So at a certain point, obviously the moon is smaller than the Earth, but at a certain point, the moon's going to look closer and bigger than the Earth. 3 is the craft landing on the moon. Yeah, landing on the moon, no crew. Right on. Can we just skip to 4? No, because I've heard both. Uh-oh. Bird. Valerie, look at BB. BB, she's not going to let you live it down all weekend. Hey, somebody out there, play smooth operator. Bird. That's it. Don't hiss at me. You still going? All right. All of a sudden, this live stream became NSFW. I was at the rescue. I was at the rescue on Wednesday when the launch happened. And we were talking about the history of space flight and how the Russians sent up a poor guinea pig. They sent up a dog. They sent up a whole bunch of animals, and they did zero effort to try to actually get them back, which I'm sort of thinking, okay, it's not really it's no big accomplishment to shoot a bunch of animals up, to shoot anything into space. It's about getting it back safely. That's why a lot of you listen to a lot of the NASA scientists and spokespeople, and they are very reserved when it comes to, they are not celebrating yet. Now, we can be very excited, and each of these moments where we get past a certain milestone in the mission, and you can sort of, you do like a, what's that baby that does like the fist pump? You can very quietly do that, but until these guys get back safely, that's the thing. That's what we're trying. We're trying to get them back safely. The unmanned mission already did basically what they're doing. I want to know more about the toilet. They had toilet issues, which I think they fixed, but this is a very small room. That's a good question, Kelly. Did Bolt get adopted? Who was watching the bird? What was he doing? Okay, all right. For an old bird, he's very healthy, and that's good. Right, Bird? Valerie was saying the other day that he needs his own channel. That may be true. I need to get him an iPhone because he's going to have to. What are you doing, Phil? Be nice to him. This is your Hugh. Give him a kiss. You like him? Is that a popcorn? Oh my goodness. Get him, baby. Give him another kiss. He loves you. Bite his ear. Bite his ear, BB. You. BB, is this your piggy? Is this your heart pig? You love him? You love your Hugh? Hugh. This is your BB? Hugh's always smiling. Hugh. What are you doing, bird? Here. Look, there's some crumbs for you. I know you like the crumbs. I'm not sure how good these crumbs are for him. Get him, Hugh. Get him. Get that bird. Get that bird. Get that bird. Here, let me do the cheeks. Let me do the cheeks. Let me do the cheeks. Hi, my name is Misty, and I have 4 guinea pigs, and 2 are females and 2 are boys, and I have 2 in separate cages. I hope you enjoy what I posted. Thank you, Misty. I'm glad to hear that your boys and your girls are separated, because instead of having 4, you would end up with 400. Uh-oh. Baby, it's okay. Come on up. Come on back up. Get him. Get that bird. Get that bird. All right, all right. Okay. What did he do to you? Put your shirt on. All right, let's calm down, bird. You come back over here. Oh my goodness. You guys ready to get the weekend going? What are you guys going to do? Valerie and I may take the piggies to, there's a little grassy park right next to the Santa Monica boardwalk. So it's actually literally right here in this picture. You look over and you can see the pier from this view, and there's a grassy park, and we might bring Mouse and the baby and Patty. What are you doing, bird? Where are you going? Ron ordered a tube from Amazon, like a piggy tube. Piggy tube, not to be confused with what we're watching right now. You're being sweet. It's not going to last. You turn around. Everybody wants to see you. Becca's going to work in her greenhouse. Heather says, Happy Easter. Oh, yeah. And I think tonight is the second night of Passover. I wonder if the beach is going to be crazy with, I guess it's spring break. Where's the pipsqueak? There he is. All right. I still have a couple cages to clean. Man, I wonder where Maria is. Maria. She should be jumping on here any minute. Do I have a piggy garden? Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I was thinking about starting to sprout again, but that would be more for me. You want to go home? All right, let's Dumbo drop you. Okay, let's do it. Ready? Hold on. All right. All right. We're wrapping you up. Okay. Good. There we go. And he's out. Oh, yay. I hope the world will be normal again. I want to create a guinea pig press on nails. Guinea pig press on nails? You're trying to make the world normal by guinea pig press on nails? I don't. Guinea pig press on nails as a donation for Saskia. Like, okay, so human nails with guinea pigs on them. That could be fun. I want to start a guinea pig garden so I have an assortment of food options that I can't easily get at the store. Okay, well, check out my sprouting videos, because what's great about sprouts is you don't really need much sunlight. The turnaround from seed to food is like a week. And there's so many different things you can experiment with, and they're cheap. And by far the cheapest and easiest thing to grow would be wheatgrass. So if you were to go into my diet playlist on YouTube and scroll way back, you probably find some of those. If you have space, it's so worth it. Yes. And that's what's great about sprouts is you, for 99% of the time, the sprouts can be in a cabinet in the dark. I like to sprout in tofu trays, but you can get all sorts of. There are so many different ways to sprout, but I would say the easiest way to sprout is using the method found in Year-Round Indoor Gardening. It's a book, and I have a video that goes through those techniques. My top 5 sprouts. Number 1, okay, wheatgrass. Absolutely, we'll put wheatgrass over here. Super easy to grow. You don't even need soil. There are wheatgrass trays. Very easy. You just got to soak them and let them grow. Okay, but aside from wheatgrass, my favorite, sunflower sprouts, sunflower seed sprouts. Very easy to grow. Now you can just get bird seed sunflower seeds, and a good percentage of those will grow. Sometimes you get mold when you're sprouting, and that can be a combination of you've made the soil too wet, you didn't have enough good airflow, whatever. It could also be, though, that you're getting, I was thinking about this, if I'm buying the cheapy seeds in bulk that are meant to be bird seed, those are probably not as clean as the sprouting seeds that you buy that are high quality. All of them are like 100% guaranteed to sprout, and they're probably have less exposure to mold, spores, and various things. Yeah, basil. A lot of times you'll find they'll sell like a little basil plant that it's like live basil, and you're just supposed to chop it down and it's fresh. You can replant that. So so number 1, sprout, sunflower sprouts. Number 2, broccoli sprouts. Now you got to get these seeds. Okay, you got to get sprouting seeds. Broccoli sprouts taste so good. Even if you don't like broccoli, the sprouts that broccolis make are crazy good. Let's switch topics for 1 second. Kelly says, I'm going to say Bolt did get adopted. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. It's whether or not someone brought a single piggy to the rescue and then they chose him, and then that single piggy got along with Bolt. So a lot of things. He is highly adoptable and he's very cute, but did the right match come along? I don't know. Okay. Sunflower sprouts, broccoli sprouts. What's number 3? I would say number 3 is probably radish sprouts. Radish sprouts can be a little spicy and they are so flavorful. And again, even if you don't like radishes, try these radish sprouts. They are so good. What would my 4th one be? Maybe alfalfa. Alfalfa sprouts are classic. And, right? Am I thinking of alfalfa sprouts? What's the normal classic sprouts that you get like on a sandwich? Man, if basil grows wild in your garden, then you're very lucky. Yeah, parsley, cress. Now, sprouts can be different than microgreens, right? So microgreens are baby lettuces. It's pretty much the same process. And here's a quick one, and then I want to read Abigail's comment. The 4th one, oh yeah, any kind of beans. Yeah, bean sprouts. Any kind of beans work really well. So that's very good. But one last one, popcorn. Popcorn sprouts. You get any popcorn and you soak it, and then you let it sprout, and like just straight up dried popcorn, and it tastes really, really good. Mung beans. Yeah. Oh, I've sprouted black beans. You can sprout any kind of beans. Okay. Before this gets too far away, Abigail Hart getting my first piggies this year. Congratulations. We are all very excited for you. I have a guinea pig care guide on my website, and I hope you'll go through it. There's some extra tips and secret tricks that we have all learned together, and I have learned, and you have shared with me that I have put on there. There are links to things, discounts, and links to things that will save you time and money, and pain and heartache. Taking care of animals is not easy, but it's very rewarding, and the work that we do is worth it. But just because it's rewarding doesn't mean we don't want to waste our time and waste our money. So I have a website. Squeak Dreams, the squeaky lady. I'm sure she's very happy to be called the squeaky lady. She's not squeaky. She sounds like this. Hi, guys. And her room is so pristine and beautiful. And her piggies are so gorgeous. And the quality of her video footage is beautiful. Squeak Dreams, highly recommended. A+. One of the best guinea pig YouTube channels out there. Yes, my website, scottysanimals.com. And there's a contact page, so please reach out. Thank you, Abigail. Yeah, a lot of what we're trying to do. But I'll say this, Abigail, do you know where you're getting your piggies from? And I really appreciate that you're doing the research before you're getting your piggies. It makes a huge difference. The biggest expense for Suzanne has been hay. I get it from Tractor Supply now in bulk. Boom. You answered my statement. Yeah, when people tell me that they are spending so much money on hay, I'm like, why? Okay, this basket right here of hay, do you know how much this cost me? About $1. I'm not exaggerating. Probably even less than $1. I buy hay by the bale for about 30 something dollars. Now I would expect with all the chaos in the world, it's going to go up a little bit. Look, Sir Piggles, if you are rich, then by all means, get the Oxbow. It's good quality. You know, I've been surprised that the last time I was at Walmart, I saw Oxbow and KT, and um, the KT hay was just as good as the Oxbow. Hey, Love Stay. Okay, well, let's dig into it. Carrie spends 70 pounds a month from Small Pet Select. Now, two things. If you're spending 70 pounds, then that means that you are in the United Kingdom. And that means that they're shipping the hay across the pond. Is that what's happening? Um, Someone from Australia was asking about what the best type of hay they recommend because they couldn't get Timothy. So I would say the same thing to you, Carrie, is now I love Small Pet Select. They have been a lifesaver to me. I love them. They're a really great company, very small family run company, and they have been very generous to the local rescues here. But you've got to be able to find some type of grass hay locally. And if you were to reach out, go on my worldwide rescue list and reach out to some of the guinea pig rescues in the United Kingdom that may be closer to you, ask them where they're sourcing their hay. I would be shocked if you weren't able to, because what is 70 pounds in dollars? I'd be shocked if you weren't able to find hay by the in bulk. You know, now that's the thing. If you're buying a bale of hay and you only have a couple piggies, that bale's going to last you forever. So you're going to need a place to store it. You could just get a any kind of a bin, trash can, a rubber bin of any kind, as long as it keeps out sunlight and rain, and you just store it somewhere. My hay I keep right out front, outside. Oh, sorry guys, there goes the alarm again. I said last week I was going to turn it off. I'll I'll try to do that after the live stream. Um, okay. Yes, you need somewhere to store the bale. But I just got 3 big Rubbermaid bales, bins, and I just put it in there. You know, another thing that you could do is reach out to a couple other people that you know that have guinea pigs and split the bale. Small Pet Select ships from Edinburgh. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that Small Pet Select, very smart of them, had a United Kingdom branch. They're shipping from Scotland. They're shipping from Edinburgh. They're probably getting their hay straight from the Shire. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to put you all through that. My comment bar is not visible when my keyboard comes up. I do not know how to answer that. Anne Marie, I have 100 pigs. Sorry, 0. You have 0 or you have 100? 92. Thank you, Mino. 70 pounds is 92 USD. For 92 USD, I could almost buy 3 bales of hay. So here's what I would say. I love Small Pet Select. I'm not trying to steal their business. But if you buy hay from a feed store, you can probably get it in bulk for a lot cheaper and take the same 72 and put it into the high quality pellets. You get the healthy snackers, you get the herbal blends. Spoil your piggies that way. Hay is hay. Doesn't matter what brand it is. I realize that there are plenty of people, also there are people who live in cold climates in the winter in like Montana or something, and maybe they don't have access to, hay in the winter. I don't know how that works. People have horses in places where it's cold. Where are they getting that feed in the winter? I don't know. Not everyone can lift or transport a British bale of hay. I was helping move. Okay, that's interesting. And several people couldn't lift the bales. Okay. Is a British bale like a big round thing? Because in the US, what I'm talking about, a bale of hay, a bale of hay is actually almost the exact same size as a 2x4 CNC cage. Also, many feed stores will peel it off and sell it by the flake. Carrie, no. I'm glad you asked that question. And then Becca, I would love to follow up on this. Carrie, guinea pigs can have any grass hay. Alfalfa is not a grass hay. Alfalfa is great as a very small treat. I would not really, it's not something that I would give to my pigs on a regular basis. A handful would be okay, very, very, very rarely. But alfalfa is great for pregnant mamas, nursing mamas, and babies. And alfalfa pellets are very good for the same pregnant mamas. It's got higher calcium, and that's really good for them when they're growing. Okay. Becca says, my hay lasts me 3 months for 17 pigs. And you're getting a bale. I have a US bale. Like I said, it's about as big as a 2x4 CNC cage. And it lasts me about 6 weeks for 20 to 25 pigs. And asks if there are capybara fans here. Of course. Becca says, bake off hay. I think she means a bale of hay weighs like 40 pounds. I feel like my bales of hay weigh more than 40 pounds. I feel like they probably weigh closer to 80 pounds. But you can't Google how much does a bale of hay weigh and get an exact answer, because it's going to be based on exactly how much humidity is in the hay, how dense that hay is, how much soft to hard stuff it is roughly. But 40 pounds, I would say, would be a pretty light bale of hay. But again, this is all different. A flake is called a leaf in Scotland. Oh, that's interesting. The farmer can transport bales. You just need to offer a price for the transport. The farmer can transport the bales of hay. You just need to offer a price for the transport. Some may deliver. Some may not deliver a single bale. That's the only problem. Some may. Okay, I'm just going to scroll down. Love Stay, I have a question. We can't get Oxbow Critical Care. It doesn't exist in Argentina. You're in Argentina. Maria is also in Argentina. What can you use instead? What's an alternative? Maybe if we concentrate really hard, if we all send out into the universe, Maria, where are you? Maria, Maria, we need you. Maybe she'll appear. Um, or she can put it in the comments. Here's what I would say. There you go. We're getting a lot of interesting and important comments. Okay, yes. Oxbow is not the only emergency food that you can use. Emer aid, right? It stands for like emergency aid. That is a good one. Fuzzy, how are you doing, Fuzzy? There is Sherwood, and in a pinch, you could make your own by grinding up pellets. Fuzzy boy, can I pick you up? Fuzz, you heard me. Ugh. Okay. BB, hold on. Oh, Fuzz. You're the sweetest boy. Up. Oh, good boy. How you feeling, buddy? Okay, here we go. Hi, Fuzz. This is Fuzz Everything. Fuzz. Bird, did you just poop on me? Yes, he did. Let's see. Can you eat this crunchy? This kid has dental disease. He's had dental disease for over a year. And this is like one of the toughest pigs that I've ever met. This guy, look at that face. We got to lower the camera down so we can see these lips. So we can see the piggy lips. So he also is missing one of those bottom incisors. And let's see if you can see right here. You see this hole? This hole is where his incisor is growing out of his jaw. And because there's that hole and it's constantly draining, he is not filling up with pus. And I was regularly disinfecting it. His teeth are uneven. Let's take a look. Let me see. Yeah, they are a little bit uneven, but I'm not worried about it. We're keeping a close eye on it. Yeah, I noticed it a couple days ago, but it's not that bad. A piggy with normal teeth, without dental disease, and that had all their teeth, something like less than a millimeter would even out. It could go the other way and get worse, but it could also generally even out in a couple days. He is on daily acetaminophen. Love stay. One of my piggies is losing weight and maybe he has a tooth issue, told me the vet. Well, if your vet said maybe, then you need to say, well, maybe I'll pay you. Right? I had to make a video because this comes up a lot. Not what you said specifically, but I made a video a few years back called the one thing that you must not leave the vet without? Can anybody guess what the one thing you need to get from the vet? What is it that we need to get from the vet when we take our sick piggies in? Does anybody know? Put it in the comments. I'll wait here for a few seconds, and I want to hear your guesses. What's the one thing that you need to get when you go to the vet? Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Well, Helen, if your piggy is not in pain, then you don't need a painkiller. Yes. Slip Heed and LMD 888 and Allison. Sir Piggledot alone. Stomach. I don't know stomach. A proper diagnosis. That's it. If you're going because your piggy's not feeling well, you need a diagnosis. You need to know what it is, and then you need a plan of action. But you can't have a plan of action if you don't know what it is. So let's go back. Maybe it's tooth issues. Well, good thing the vet has tools to look in the mouth. So it is or it isn't tooth issues. Now, if it's dental disease, like in Fuzz's case, there's no surgical option that can be given. Okay, right? He's got a tooth root that's growing down. Maybe at some point that tooth will need to be removed. But shockingly, I mean, look at him. This is a beast. And he has my massive admiration. And damn, he's just the cutest kid. You look like a little burnt marshmallow. You look like a burnt marshmallow. Ron, my piggies are healthy. I don't need to worry. Well, worrying is a natural response to problems and fear. But it is important to have an emergency kit, to have a plan, to have a vet. And guess what? Piggies can hide their illness. They can, it's not realistic to assume that all of our pigs are going to live for their entire life without ever being sick. That's why it's important to learn about common illnesses, learn about the signs and the symptoms, have a vet, have multiple vets that you can trust, that you can go to. He checked him a week ago and said his molars are a bit larger and I must check him the way he eats because that moment he eats well. Well, it's still not totally clear to me. So I would say, does the vet think that the teeth are going to be able to recover and be worn down again? Or is there going to need to be a tooth trim procedure? Just saying that they're a bit larger without saying what you should do about it. So first thing you need, diagnosis. Second thing that you need is a plan. And then the third thing would be a prognosis. The prognosis is what's the likely outcome, right? We've all watched enough ER, or what's that new one, The Pit, to know that, prognosis is not good, doctor, right? What's the prognosis? He has a little sebaceous cyst right on the corner of his butt. Piggies have lumps and bumps all the time. If you had 10 piggies and they were all 3 years old or older, I would think you might have even 10 cysts. 3 of them could be on one piggy, but super common. You ate the whole thing. You ate the whole thing, but look, we got a piece of hay. Sick of me already? Here, come here. Oh, and you got another. He has a fatty lipoma on his belly. Want this? Yay! Look how freaking cute he is. Oh, Fuzz. Fuzz. I love you so much, dude. Look at his face. Look at BB, are you seeing this? I know. Okay, let's catch up with the chat. Third cutting Timothy Hay for $21 a pound from Small Pet Select UK. 21 pounds, sorry. How much is that? A whole bale? That'd be amazing. I would say that's pretty cheap. Although 21 pounds equals about, what, 30-something dollars? My piggies stay healthy for the most part. I start the critical care and it perks them back up. Yeah. Let's try not to use too many generalizations because all different illnesses, they're different. You've got bacterial infections, you've got viruses, you've got mechanical issues such as tooth issues, you've got respiratory infections. There's all of these different things. So we want to understand each of them and how to treat each of these things. You coming out? You want to come down? Ooh, I love you. Oh, here's another poop. Bird, we're covered in poop. Gross. Yeah. Okay. Let's get you back here. Hold on. No, you escaped. Come on, you got to get in there. Come on, get in there. Okay, ready? Up. And over. There you go. Ooh. Let's catch up on the chat really quick here. Is there anything you can do for a sebaceous cyst on a piggy? Okay. We either will be, are, or were teenagers. And for those of us who are or were teenagers, think of sebaceous cysts as like a pimple. Fox, you better be nice to him. You have a feather on your face. What does the dermatologist, what does your mom, what's the common wisdom about what to do with a pimple? Don't touch it. Mino was very lucky to move through adolescence without any pimples. Good for you. You probably were also the homecoming queen and the Christmas Day parade princess. But for us nerds, with big, huge pimples, you don't just poke it, you don't squeeze it. Volo's right here. He is fast asleep. Let's see if we can even see him. Barely. I would pull him out if he wasn't totally asleep. Okay, so what do you do with a sebaceous cyst? I think you should just monitor it because it's basically just a big pimple. If it starts to ooze, if it starts to rupture, baby, come up. then you could gently squeeze it out and you could try to flush it clean with saline solution and maybe like a watered down betadine, something like that. I want to be a beer garden princess. That sounds amazing. Or a beer garden gardener. So, understanding the difference between an abscess and a sebaceous cyst is very important, right? An abscess is something that has become infected. There could be a if a guinea pig gets bit, that could heal up completely, but something could happen to the skin or the pores, and it could turn into a cyst where it's just sebaceous means sebum. Sebum is the stuff that our skin is using, like the oils and the stuff in the pores, and that gets clogged, right? If it's not growing rapid, okay, I somehow lost connection. If the bump itself is not growing rapidly and doesn't smell or look infected, then it's not an abscess, it's a cyst. If it's generally small, thing is, the bigger a sebaceous cyst gets, the more likely it's to rupture. And just like a pimple, it has a pocket. Yes, Mino, we have Oktoberfests. We do. We certainly do. This is America. We love beer, especially German beer. But okay, so an abscess needs to be flushed and cleaned right away. A small cyst probably could even be absorbed by the skin itself and heal on its own. If it gets bigger, it's more likely to rupture. Any pimple or cyst generally has the gunk, and then there's like some kind of a sheath around it. And if you're going to try to squeeze it out, you can't just get the goo, you got to get that whole thing out, or it will come back. And it still may come back because now you've got like a hole, and a hole in the skin is going to trap gunk. I also would not recommend surgery to remove a sebaceous cyst that's not causing any problems. Suzanne says, my piggy had a cyst that got infected. It was growing rapidly and smelling. The vet drained it and gave my piggy an antibiotic. Yeah, so if that ever even was a cyst per se, it basically turned into an abscess. If it was smelly and growing quickly, that's because basically, so the reason why it probably grew quickly was, imagine, so a cyst has zit juice in it. But if it started to get infected, the body has a way of filling something with fluid. It's trying to send whatever the body sends, red blood cells, antibodies and things like that, to try to heal it, to stop that infection. So if it's growing rapidly and it smells gross, that's because the body is sending all that stuff to that infection. Is this your poop? So, yeah, you would need to get it either flushed out, maybe surgically removed, and then, yes, antibiotics. Oral antibiotics probably necessary. Can you bathe a piggy with a cyst? Yeah, I would say if it wasn't ruptured, then sure, no problem. It's just like a bump under the skin. If it had ruptured, still you could probably bathe them. But then the question really then is, why are you bathing your piggy? So many people on the internet say you should never bathe your guinea pig, and that's ridiculous. But you shouldn't bathe them if they aren't dirty, if they don't need it. So bathing your guinea pig regularly, I don't think would prevent sebaceous cysts. I don't think it would cause it either, per se. Skin flakes trapped under the skin or an ingrown hair, clogged pores after a scratch or bite. Yep. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, Rizzy. With wounds, you can bathe them with wounds. With wounds, you can bathe them. Wounds can also itch. Yeah, we've all had the experience where we had a cut or a scrape or something, and as it's healing, it tends to be very itchy. Also, in any case where there's an infection or something where the skin is trying to heal, vitamin C. Vitamin C is very important. I wouldn't go overboard. I might do double vitamin C for a week after surgery. Yeah. You ready for lunch? You hungry, bird? You should have eaten a bigger breakfast. My vet drained 2 syringes of yuck out of a swollen cheek for $50. Well worth it. And then $30 for the antibiotic. Yeah, that sounds very reasonable. Not the antibiotics, but if the cheek was swollen and then it started to rupture, if you have a syringe and a needle, you could potentially do that yourself. And then in the hole that forms before it bursts, you could use that to flush with a very diluted betadine and water to keep it clean. But yeah, I would probably recommend oral antibiotics after that. Okay. Sarah, it's good to hear from you. It's good to see you here. And thank you for becoming a patron. Is it okay to use a dry shampoo spot cleaning piggies between baths? I don't think it's necessary. We spot clean the cage, not the piggies. I know it's like a coincidental choice of words. Guinea pigs don't really need baths unless they're in a situation where they happen to get dirty. Like people come to the rescue all the time with carriers that don't have like a towel or a blanket or a fleece pad in them. And when I open it up, they're slipping and sliding in their own pee and poop. I don't understand the idea. I can't fathom the idea that someone would have a carrier without some kind of absorbent layer in there, or that you wouldn't even think about putting something like that in there. It's mind-boggling to me. I know, again, Dunning-Kruger, we don't know what we don't know, but I would think just for comfort's sake, you're putting a piggy in a carrier in a small space, you'd want to put them something that was soft. Yeah, if they have long hair, then yeah, maybe you can just trim it. Piggies that have the long hair, the tails, the hair on the bottom, it almost always is going to get a little gross no matter what you do, especially as they get older and they develop mobility issues. You getting sick of it? Baby, we got still a few more minutes. Yeah, we can't go 3 hours today. We got to try to wrap it up soon, but we want to answer some of these questions. Yeah, here's the thing, Suzanne. Your piggy's cheek was swollen the size of her head. That's huge. So even if you drained it yourself, I mean, when it gets that big, I would be a little nervous to do that, especially if it came on very, very suddenly, which it could have if it was really infected. Even if you drained it yourself, there would still be the matter of getting antibiotics. Now, if I lived in the middle of nowhere, but I was able to get mail, you could use something like Vetster to get a prescription if you live in a state where they could authorize a prescription. If you showed the piggy with that, or if you had pictures and you said that you just drained it and you could show that, that was super loud. They might be able to send you antibiotics, but I would rather have the vet do all of that, make sure that they could get all of that infection out, Because if you drain it, you still would need to flush it. And these are things that, you know, I could do it in a pinch, but I'm not as skilled as they would be. Gwyneth's first guinea pig, Charlie Chaplin Anderson, lived over 10 years. That's amazing. Lost Horizons just got, yeah, you got to decompress. Just got home, doesn't have that much time. I get it. We got to get back to work. Wrap it up like bacon. Like vegan bacon. Oh man, there's a bacon out there. Whenever we find a good bacon, they always discontinue it. We found one that was made from coconut that was so good. I think now the one that we like, it's like a pea protein. Or no, maybe it's actually has mushrooms in it. I don't know. It's good. It is weird to name your pets. I get a lot of people name their piggies after foods. I don't generally like the idea. Like, I don't like when a restaurant uses an animal mascot and that's the animal that they slaughter. I find that to be it's not classy. Pippy's out. I can grab him. Let me try. Because what would a live stream be without the magnificent Pippykins? See if I can get him. Pippy, come on. Nope. Come on. Oh, I gotcha. Gotcha, old man. Gotcha. Yeah. Pippy. Okay. This is a great way to yeah, pork chop. I mean, it's not the most sensitive thing. The thing is, when you really, not to go back on my diatribe, but once you stop eating animals, then you see all of the horrific treatment a lot clearer. All of the disrespect, all of the monstrous behavior, you know, we would never treat our own animals like that. And so just because we don't know them doesn't mean that the suffering is not occurring. Pipster, I don't know if you want this cookie right now. Look how cute you look. Pippy, I love you. This kid has been with me for 8 years and a month. Look at those chompers. Now, I like that. Lost Horizons. Matcha, miso, tofu, teriyaki, wasabi, and ginger, and you're getting me hungry. I like that theme. I'm a wasabi monster. I'll sign my own death warrant with wasabi. Man, that makes me want to have some California rolls or some avocado rolls. I like a avocado, cucumber, sesame. You put some peppers in there. You could even put some tofu in there. Bird is getting super impatient. BB, say hi to Pippy. Here, climb up. You've got to be nice to him. Oh, if I had a nickel for every guinea pig that was named Mochi that came into the rescue, man, maybe I can. Maybe we can have some. We make spring rolls, but man, maybe we can do some sushi rolls. Honestly, the seaweed wraps are okay. I like the rice wraps better. But sometimes I'm in the mood for the sushi wrap, the seaweed wraps. They're definitely better for you. Gwyneth says, my bunny rabbit's name is Dr. Ted Teddy Teddy Bear. Dr. Ted Teddy Teddy Bear Theodore Roosevelt Logan Anderson Cooper Jr. II. Oh my God. That's an amazing name. He must have papers. Logan Anderson is Logan from Wolverine fame? But I would say, like, if you're going to name your rabbit something fancy, it should be a long name. Why was that name so short? My bunnies are Bob, Violet, Gemini, and Parker. Hey, little George. Yeah, this is classic right here. Go, 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 go. Why are you getting so impatient? Oh. Here, come here. Get up there. You're antsy. Are we about to get this weekend started? We're listing off piggy names. Glitch and Gadget. I like those. Pooter, Peanut, Bean, Frank, and Sir Piggles II. Merlin, Minnie, Truffle, Sally, Truffle. 2 truffles. Hamster, Muffin, Peach, Skunk, and Nellie are my guinea pig names. Some don't have names. Yeah, there was a little while there where I had some fosters that I had not named yet, and I had to figure that out. Kevin and Stripe. Let's bird. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out on a Friday. Look, we've done 3 in a row, and then we did the live bonding, which is still going strong over here. I really hope you guys have an awesome weekend. A reminder, a couple things, since you guys made it to the end. You can always reach me through the contact page on my website. Also, my website is the social media hub. So, Pippi. So on the homepage of my website, you can find my YouTube channel. You can find my Facebook page and my Instagram. So all the latest posts are right there, and you just click on them and it takes you to wherever those had been posted from. You smell like CBD, Bubby. Ooh, he left us a little poop. Thank you. Thank you, Pippi. Another thing, if you enjoy this chat, there is 3 ongoing chats on my Patreon, which you can join for $1. There's a free option for Patreon. You can join it for free. You can see the exclusive feed. I believe you can see most of those posts. But for $1 a month, and get this, if you do the whole thing a year in advance, it's $10 for the entire year, and you have access to 3 chats. You have a community chat, you have a photo sharing chat, and you have a medical questions chat, and there's always people in there to help answer questions. And the more people we have in there, the more it's like this chat happening all the time. So I want to quick also thank Joe Poe for becoming a channel member. Boom. Hey, Joe. There he goes. Now, you see that? Joe's name is in green. Joe's name is in green because he's a channel member now. Now, here's what I've been doing lately, because I was debating, should I put any of my videos behind a paywall? And I have done some channel member only videos. But what I've been doing to solve that is frequently I will release my videos early, whether it's the night before or whether it's a couple hours early. Channel members, I will do some videos early. It really depends the kind of video and when I'm uploading it and those various things. What's that? I'm just feeling for lumps and bumps, Pippi. So yeah. Oh, wow. Lost Horizons is canceling Netflix. I cannot compete with Netflix. But that is very humbling. Suzanne says, always like to remind everyone how I found Scotty. I bought my first piggy from Petco. She wouldn't be living her best life without Scotty. And she has 2 pals now. And I'm thank you so much for saying that. And same thing, my piggies, you know, if I hadn't found the LA Guinea Pig Rescue and gone on this journey and then started this channel, and I've learned so much from you guys. I'll be the first to say I don't know it all. I don't know. I'm continuously learning, but I want to be a good source of good information, and not just like the information that I say. I want the channel to be like a hub for sharing good information. So it's not just me, it's the comments, it is all of us together having an open mind and changing our points of view, you know, as we learn and continuously grow and keep an open mind. So, well, whether Netflix helps anyone or not, I would disagree. I watch Netflix exclusively when I'm on my treadmill. And I think, especially in these crazy times, sometimes it's important to unplug and to laugh. Scotty, you should consider making a movie. What kind of movie should I make? And who's going to direct and edit it? I'm working on my second illustrated book, the second installment of Cage Mates. Yeah, G-Force 2. Yeah, well, if you've got anybody in Hollywood, if you got any Hollywood connections, send them my way. Yeah, you know, I would love for the Cage Mate series to eventually be an animated series. I need to get more than one book out every 3 years for that to happen. And I need a literary agent. So, yeah, you know, that's the thing, is finding the time and the bandwidth to do all this when my number one priority is taking care of the animals, volunteering, answering emails from around the world. And if I have any time left over, then it's very important for me to exercise and then draw if I've got an hour or so. Bengal's doing good. He was eating. He ate a lot of critical care, and he was eating hay and some pellets and shredded veggies on his own. I'm going to lift this thing up and check his poops. And in a little bit, we're going to do some more critical care, but it seems like he's starting to get back on track. I know his mouth is still pretty sore. All right, guys. On that note, thank you so much for joining. And like I said, we can continue this conversation on Patreon. You can email me directly. Any questions? If I missed anything, message me through the contact page on my website. Or if we've already messaged before, you can just go ahead and email me. And I will be checking it a couple times today and all weekend. So, yeah. For all of you who are celebrating Easter and Passover, and we already passed the spring equinox, but you know what? Just get out there and celebrate life, celebrate your friends and families and your animals. And yeah, maybe we'll do this again next week. And I can't move because the bird is preening. So I'm just going to sit here for a while. Beer. Let's celebrate beer. Okay. Does sound like a pretty good idea. Oh, cha-ching. Yay. SPEO71IJ is the droid we are looking for. Thank you for becoming a channel member. Is there a name that we can call you besides SP-017IJ? Oh dear. Oh dear. We'll wait. All right, Pippi. All right, we're going to get out of here. Oh, I'm also a Scotty from the last stream. Oh, that's right. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your support. You got a weird bump right here on your leg, Squeaker. All right. Say goodbye, Pippi. The stream before last. Look at this. Look at this little face. I'm a Danny. That's what we'll do at the beginning of the stream. For all of you guys who have weird screen names that are not your name, you can say your name and where you're at if you want. Or it can be super anonymous. Okay, guys. I'm going to go do some piggy fleece laundry, clean some cages. I got to fill infinite water bottles. And I will see you guys on the flip-flop. Look at that. There's Pippi. There's the Pippi emoji. Look, it's you. Yeah. Thank you for that. All right, kids. I will see you guys next week. Thank you so much for participating in the live stream. And for those of you who are looking at the closed captioning, it takes a little while for it to show up. But as soon as I hit this X button, it will start processing and you'll be able to watch the replay of the live stream. So we're just going to finish our cookie and I will talk to you guys soon. All right. Have a great weekend, you guys.